I'm currently on my way home, well, on my way to the shop to put on new trailer connectors on the truck and the trailer. They've just been, got unplugged in the trailer, dragged down the road once, and the one on the truck got so corroded it fell apart when I tried to take it apart. So I bought a couple cheap ones at this farm store, and I bought a lock for the trailer, the truck hitch, in case I ever do need it, especially if I have the boat on the truck and I have to leave the trailer at the lake. Not that anybody's going to steal my trailer, but so I already had this tied up because it was never actually mounted, but I had it tied up into the frame of the truck, and I cut it out, and you'll see right here. Okay, phone's been messing with me, going vertical instead of horizontal. So here, I'm going to try to start all this over again. And I pulled this cord, this line out from the frame of the truck. I just had it tied up there temporarily. The previous owner did not have it mounted up to the bumper, and so I bought another. I've got a mount that came with the kit that I bought, so I can mount the new one. But simply, this nut here shouldn't be here. This should be a little Phillips screw like on the new one that I'll show you here in a bit. And then you have a hole on each side here, retaining hole. You just unthread those screws so it gives you room, and this should slide right out. You should be able to push that head through then and just pull it out to where you can actually access these screws. I'm not going to mess with the screws because all this is so corroded that those wires aren't any good there anyway, so I'm going to cut them all off with my snips, and then this will all slide off of here, and I'll attach the new one. And while I'll be attaching it, if your unit, which this one did not does not come with any instructions, there is, you can usually get, this is not as good as the one as I normally would have, but I don't know why I didn't go to eTrailer. But if you go to eTrailer, you can usually get these kind of diagrams, and this has color coded by wire where the wires will screw on. This is the oh man, which one is this? This is the utility side, and it shows you right here where they would go as well. So if you're looking at this plug at the vehicle, it'll show you, okay, I got brown running lights, auxiliary, red, green stuff, and it shows you where you would screw them on here. This one's not as good as the one that I would normally use. I don't know why I printed this one out, but it'll get me there. So yeah, so I'm going to snip these wires off and then be right back. So not having enough hands is not good. I want to try to get this out as far as I can right here. See that? And there's two holes, one on each side of the bracket, and you'll have to drill through the bumper to get those holes in. And I'm not sure. I think I might go ahead and change my bolts here and get some self drillers or something, because I can't get up in there to hold a nut. So I'll probably have to do that. And actually I might put it a little farther back. I might put it back a little farther so I got room to get these pins out when I need to. But I want to get it as close to that hitch as I can so it doesn't pull, so I don't have to worry about pulling the cable. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to since I don't have any, there's no way I can get a wrench in there. I'm just gonna, yep, there's no way. There's something, the bumper is just in the way. Yeah, so I want to drill that. I'll do it that way. I'll do it this way. I think I'll do it this way. Yeah, right that. Let's see if this works. Alright. Oh, there we go. Now I can see it. Okay. Yeah, right here. I wanted to flip this around so that it was out more toward the bumper. But what I had to do is right here, if you can see it, I have this locking pin for the hitch. And I want to make sure I leave room for that, or leave room to get your pin out. And you can get to your pin, so I had to move it back a little bit. So it'll be fine. I got plenty of cable on the trailer, but so I had to move that back a little bit, so I can plug that in here. And then next I got to put the cord. It's gonna have to come through here to make sure. Oh gosh, this is gonna be tough. Yeah, the cord comes through here like this to make sure that. Oh my gosh, that's tough. I didn't realize I had that much. Well, that's all that I had, but so I can get to it, and I can put the cap over it, or put the housing over it. If you ever do, I can still get that cord through there like that. So I think I want to go ahead and put it together out here where I can reach it, and then I'll put it through and bend this back. But to make sure I get everything on there where I can thread it on. Okay, so you can't see it in this, but apparently right here by the heads of the screws, this was marked which wire went where. It wasn't color coded, it didn't say which color it was, but it said the purpose. So when you look at that, and then you look at the chart that I have, and it says brown, yellow, blue, red, you can tell which way to go. Auxiliary, RT for right turn, LT for left turn. And I got these all, made sure went back and double checked, made sure they're all snug. And on this trailer, on this truck, I don't have a 7th wire for the center pin. That's for auxiliary, what is that? The backup lights. And I would have thought that was for backup lights for, alright, I would have thought that would have been auxiliary for like dome lights and stuff, but apparently not. The auxiliary is the red. But yeah, made sure I went back through all 6 of those and made sure they were snug down. And you see they go up underneath that little flat plate there and sandwiches in. And then I coated them with this battery terminal protectant. You probably can't find that brand anymore. I've had that can forever, but see if I can prevent some future corrosion. And then I'll slide the cover back on. Slide the cover back on, as I can't do it with the camera because, like I said, I don't have a tripod. Make sure all these screws are tight. Tighten this one here, and then I can fit it back up into the. I can fit it back up into that and screw it in. And you have to remember, and you can't see it, from where I'm standing at the top of this, there's a groove. So this only goes in one way. You remember, you check that groove and make sure you're sliding that in correctly and get it totally flush with the bottom before you start tightening the outside screws. Okay, got it somewhat mounted in there, if you can see in the light, and it's pretty much there. I put some lube on that, and everything's out of the way. Not much to say there. It's pretty tight. And then onto the trailer. I want to replace the trailer side, and I need to go get a smaller screwdriver for that, and I'll show you that in a second. Okay, here. Yeah. On this one, on the trailer side, see right this little bitty set screw right here. On this one it's a Phillips. It could be an Allen wrench on some, or it could not have it at all. But so I had to go in and get a number one Phillips screwdriver for this. And then of course here, battery's getting low, so I may have to put my phone on a charger here while I do this, but I'm going to cut around, because this one doesn't come apart, the one on the trailer. So I'm going to cut the insulation around here. I'm going to slit it down about an inch and a quarter, inch and a half, and cut around again, so I can remove a piece of insulation here to get to the wire, and then I can just snip the wire out one more time. Okay, so I stopped it short there a little bit. I don't think I got the pigtail for the trailer, but it came out. I showed you that little screw. You had to have the number 1 Phillips, but on that particular unit, some may be an Allen, but it goes together pretty much the same as the truck side. I made sure I remembered to spray that protectant around it before I put it back together. And one thing I wish I did different was put the cut that housing back a little, about half an inch farther. It would have been easier to maneuver the wires. That was cute. But yeah, I got sidetracked on I threw stuff together, and I was going to take it back apart and film it, but then when I seen, I went ahead and plugged it in, and it didn't work, and my controller wasn't working, so I got sidetracked by my controller. So now I get to fix my controller. I'm not getting very much voltage. I think there's a break in the wire, or a bad spot in the fuse holder, and I need to move it up to the battery anyway. It's pretty strange. It takes a little bit of patience, but it's pretty easy to put those things together. Yeah, take your time and think it through. Like, I'm about as guilty as everybody. When I need to do it, I'm in a hurry, so I don't ever get it right. But anyway, I want to get off here. Hopefully I put together a decent video. Don't know when I'll be able to, but take it easy.